Alright guys, so there you have it. This is our current belt right here. Yes, it is quite bad. What's up guys, good morning and welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Eddie. Hope you all having a good day today. So yes, right now we actually gonna be doing the pulley delete on my G35 model. Yes, it is about that time to change the belts because they are cracked and I'm sure they were probably not changed when they were needed to be changed. But hey, that's what we're here for, right? While Nissan did say, hey, if you can make it through motor mounts, valve cover gaskets, then hey, we'll give you a break and you'll be able to take care of your belts as a reward. Nice and easy, no hard task at all. So yes, we're here. We're about to delete this pulley, and I do have to say that yes, this motor does not need this extra pulley that we have here. It weighs, I kid you not, 3 pounds. Don't expect any horsepower from this mod, but if you are changing out your belts like I am, then it is a mod that you should probably do, because down the line you won't have to worry about changing out that pulley that we're going to delete today, because it'll be gone, and all you will have to worry about is changing out your belts down the line. So what you're going to need is, for this job, basically 4 things. So what you're going to need is your shortened power steering belt, and then the AC belt. And right here you have the spacer, which is basically gonna go right over here. But I would have to say that on top of that, that 4th item that I was talking about is the tension tester. Yes, I helped my friend out doing his, and I had this here already in my garage, this tool, and I can tell you that you definitely do need it, because he tried doing it by himself, you know, with the finger touch. Let's fix this real quick. Yes, he was trying to do it with his finger, you know, basically feel the tension of it to make sure it's good. But honestly, what happened? The alternator started running low, and that was because the tension was not enough. So you definitely do need this little tool right here. Yes guys, unlike other cars, the belt on this is 1, 2, 3. All you have to do is unscrew our 12mm, bring it down, it'll loosen the tension, and then put the belts right back on. It's so easy. It's like unbelievably easy. Alright guys, so let's go ahead, let's start taking her apart. Let's start doing what we need to do in order to complete the task, and hopefully we don't break any bolts, because last night what I did was, as you guys already know, this car is extremely rusted. I sprayed the bolts down with some penetrating oil, so we should be good to go there. Hopefully nothing bad happens, crossing fingers, but we shall see. So guys, without further ado, let's dive into it. And of course, that goes without saying guys, if you are new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. Welcome to my 350Z build / restoration, and we have a lot more content coming your way, so definitely hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you found this video helpful, definitely give it a big thumbs up. Making videos, you know, but this camera is like way heavier than my other one, so it's killing my shoulder. All right guys, so let's go ahead, let's just remove this real quick. Yeah, that was my little spacers there. I got the plenum spacer here, so in order to keep this on, I just had to make my own little spacers available. So, yep, look at this. Now we're here. Now we have all this open room where we can actually see the belt and everything as well. Alright, so here we are. This is going to be the pulley that we're going to delete right here. And as you can see, my belts are pretty bad. Yeah, they're definitely not in the best shape. There's also cracks in them. You can probably see it right there as well. But yeah, these belts are long gone. So what we're going to do is basically take off these 3 bolts. 1, 2, and there's also one right here that connects into the power steering. And this right here is where your spacer is going to go. So guys, let's get started and let's remove these 3 bolts. Alright guys, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and tackle this nut right here. We're going to loosen it up. So now that that's loose, we can go to the bottom. Just so you guys are aware, I try using this with a 14mm, my breaker bar, However, because of the fans, I was not able to have enough clearance to fit the actual socket onto there. So what I did was, instead, I used my 3/8 ratchet with my 14mm socket, and then I grabbed my 22" and I put it on the end to give myself some leverage. So guys, real quick, just to show you, that's the way I have it hooked up. And then I grabbed my 22, put it on like so, and then that let me have enough leverage to push down and break it. Alrighty yourself, good to see you. Alright guys, so this is a 12, yes it is. So we're gonna start down here. This is on the alternator side. Let's just loosen that, and as you can see, the pulley is now going down, the tensioner. So we should have enough slack. Yep. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so as you can see, there is quite enough slack now. Look at this. It's ready to be removed. Okay. If you don't have your service manual, just go ahead, check it online, but this is the way it's wrapped around. Hopefully you guys can see that real quick. Give you a quick snapshot. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got enough slack now that we can basically just pull it off just like that. I'm just gonna go from the bottom and finish off this side. Alright guys, so there you have it. This is our current belt right here. Yes, it is quite bad. Not only that, you could definitely see it on this side that is quite worn. So yes, definitely a much needed task. So now that we finished step one, which was basically breaking that nut on the pulley itself, and then step number two, loosening it from the bottom with that 12mm bolt, we were now able to go ahead and actually pull off the belt itself. So now that that's done, we can go ahead and do the pulley delete by basically removing this pulley that we have here, which honestly is only 3 bolts. So let's get to it. Alright guys, I'm really trying to get those angles for you, that way I can show you how it's done. But this one right here, I may not be able to get so much, so I just wanted to show you guys. First things first, this one we're going to do with a 17. I'm going to use a wrench for this one, or just use the 17mm, break it off. Same thing here, but with this one I'll use a breaker bar. And with this one over here, if I don't use the breaker bar, I'll use the same method that I'm using over here. Of course my camera will be right here. Let's try this another way. Alright guys, my bad. We actually just did it right now. Actually was able to break it loose. You know my technique that I love to do. Basically put it on. Let me show you sideways. And then use this as leverage in order to break it. And hey, we got it. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this one now. Actually, I could just use a 17 for that one. So job well done. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and break off number 2. This one right here. Nice and easy, just like that. And now we're gonna break off the 14mm over here. Yep, 14. Good. All right, so now we could grab our little ratchet and just take it off in one piece. Voila. That is nice. All right, so now let's go ahead and take off the 12. I'm sorry, the 14. Let's take that one off now. And number 2. All right guys, so I will be honest, I did try to take this out here, but of course it started to hit the pulley. So what we're gonna do is right now, I'm gonna grab a 10mm wrench, place it like so. And then on the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and just put a 10mm ratchet. That way I could unbolt each one and pull off that pulley. And then there was one. Alright guys, and that's how you remove it if you don't have power tools for that. I'm going to show you a little up close view, that way you can see what I was referring to. Alright, so what I was doing, just to show you guys real quick, is basically there's a little outpost right here, something that we could use for leverage. But for now, let's say everything was tight. What I would do is put a 10mm here, just like so, and then I'll use my ratchet to break this 10mm loose, and they will go together like this, like if I'm squeezing it. Now you're up to the very last one. What you're gonna do is use this little piece right here as leverage. You will bring one of them out just a little bit more than normal. Let's say this one right here, right? We'll bring that out. What we will do is, say if this one needed to be loosened, we'll put it in like so, and then we'll just let it come all the way down until it gets locked into place by this piece right here. So you're not tightening the bolt itself, you're actually just using it as leverage. You see how it's locked into place right here? So I could hold it and it wouldn't spin, because not that it's tight, but this right here is preventing it from spinning. And then I'll be able to loosen this one or this one, whichever one. But let me show you guys real quick. So because this acts as a stopper right here, I can go ahead and boom, just break it loose without having to worry about over tightening another bolt and having to deal with that vicious cycle all the way around. Well, luckily we're recording on the other camera. My iPhone just ran out of memory, of course. But yeah guys, I hope you got that. Whew. Wow, it's bright back there. Alright, but yeah guys, I hope you got that. So let's go ahead, continue. Let's take off the 10mm all the way around, and then we could take off that 17mm that's been holding us back. Alright, number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now we can slide it off. Alright, let me go get a little pry bar. Well, of course, ours is rusted on. Nothing new. But we almost got it off. Told you guys, it's never easy with this car. Alright guys, so I actually just been sanding it because it wasn't coming off, so we should be good now. Let's see. Yeah, got a lot more wiggle room than before. Almost there. Almost there, guys. Oh my god, but we finally got her out. Unbelievable. Alright guys, so there you have it. She is now out and about. So now we can go ahead and just remove that 17mm. So what I'm doing is right now, I'm pulling it with one hand and pulling it out, and with the other, I'm just turning it. And there we go, guys. Got the last one out. Now to take out this bad boy. So right now it's hitting this area right here. Can you see right here? It hits it. But you can pull it a little forward to overlap it. And then still continue to pull it to the right towards the intake system. Alright. And there we go. Hey, look at that. She's out. And there you have it. She is now out and about. Not for nothing, she works pretty damn good, but we don't need her no more. She can stay there. Alright guys, so now it's time to put on our spacer. This is the number. And that's what you're gonna need in order to do this job. Whew, it is so hot right now. But here she is. Let's go ahead and slap her on. Alright, so let's see if this is easy or if we gotta create a space. Most likely we gotta create a space. Yep. Alright, so I gotta play with this because I don't know how this will ever fit on, but I know it does. So let me play with this a little bit. Alright guys, so yeah, we actually got in just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can shimmy it in somehow, but this is where we are right now. So I'm just using my breaker bar, and then I'm gonna hammer it in. So now, let's see if she's aligned a little bit. Oh, look at that. Wow, first shot. Nice. Alright, I just need to get the torque specs for this. Now let's just put in the other two 17 millimeters. We got one up here. And we got one down here. Alright guys, so they actually both go in nice and neat. Top one is nice and flush, and so is the bottom one. Now let me just get some torque specs for the other one over there, and we should be good to go. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and torque this down, the 14 millimeter, and also these two over here. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and torque this down, 46 foot-pounds. It says 42 to 48, so I'm just going to do 46 here. Good. Alright guys, so this one is a bit rusted, I'm not gonna lie, so, well, you guys already know that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just sand it down just a little bit. Hopefully we can still use this pulley. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this one loose now. All right guys, so we have enough slack. Now let's take that off. Good. And there you go. Done. All right guys, so we have our new belt. Now we just got to put it on the same way we took it off. Let me loosen up the pulley a little bit. All right, so new belts, they're always tight, but here we are, almost on. Got a few more notches to do and we'll be good to go. All right guys, so after going back and forth with the screw, because at the end of the day, you guys seen it, it's extremely rusted, and that's the last thing I need is for it to break on me. So I was going up and down with the screw to finally bring it down to a level where I could slip on the belt. Yeah, this belt is a lot tighter, but it's slipping on now. Haha, perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna do a rundown real quick. I'm just gonna run upstairs and make sure that it's aligned with the grooves on the top side. All right, so everything looks good. Now we could tighten her up. Now we could take out some of the slack. All right, that feels pretty good. All right guys, so we're gonna go ahead and head over here and take care of this one as well. Yeah, I find it a lot easier just to do like a full circle all the way around, and then I push it up on the pulley itself. Haha, look at that. That looks so nice. Check that out. Alright guys, so here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and just tighten her up now. Let's check the tension on that one. All right guys, so as we just finished tightening up, right after that, of course, you got to check to make sure everything is nice with regards to the tension, because too loose, things won't work. Too tight, yeah, your bearings will go bad. So definitely try to avoid that at all costs. Try to get it ideally where it's supposed to be. All right guys, so we just finished right now tightening everything up as you just saw, and also went ahead in the meantime and I just set it into place with the right tension, the right deflection, so we're good to go. The power of editing. All right guys, so right now I'm editing this for you, and I just wanted to go to the garage real quick to pick this up. Yes, this is my tester, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it here because on the car, not for nothing, the angle doesn't really do any justice, so we're gonna go ahead and just edit this part in. That way you guys can see a little more up close and understand exactly what I'm doing. Of course, naturally, there's a lot of you that's just gonna go ahead and just, you know, feel for it and adjust as needed. But for those that are like myself, who wants to know that they doing it correctly the first time and not having to worry about revisiting or breaking any pulleys prematurely, then this little part is for you. Of course, I may just make a whole nother video separately, because even though I use this method, the deflection method, there's a dial gauge that looks like this that makes your life a lot more easier. And I may just get it and make a whole separate video on how to adjust it using this and the dial gauge. And if I do that, I'll go ahead and just put it up here, but that'll be for a later video. For now, what I did was just use the deflection method. So guys, real quick, let's see if we can capture this right here. Can we focus on it? Not my face. All right guys, so as you can see right here, I'm trying to focus so you guys can see it on there, but this is 22 pounds right here. I'm using the rubber ring. In case you get this tool, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So right here I set it to 22 pounds of pressure. So as you go ahead and you compress this on the belt, you're gonna get to a point where it's gonna hit the rubber. Okay, bam. So once you get to there, your deflection on your belt should be, well, depending on which one you do, should be within range. So I set up a little demonstration over here, which is similar to the car, but not exactly like it. So let's go ahead and just see what I did right here. And like I said before, guys, I'm just doing this because on the car, putting this camera right there, you can't see nothing at all. It doesn't work. And I want you guys to see it at like an eye level, so you're much more prepared when the time comes to do your own job. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I did. Don't laugh too hard though. Alright guys, so this is my little setup over here. As shown on the car, this is the way that I actually have it. The ruler just runs straight down. Let's pretend this is a pulley over here. This is another pulley over here. And this right here, this little rubber piece that I got from the garage, is going to be the acting belt. Of course, we have our tension tester. And as you can see, it's set to 22 pounds of pressure. Alright guys, and two ways to adjust the belt is by tightening the bolt, it'll make the belt a lot tighter. By loosening the bolt, it'll make it a lot more loose. So for this example, just to make it a lot more easier, we're going to ask for 1/4 of an inch of deflection using 22 pounds of pressure. Now this is just for an example, it is not for our cars, but I just wanted to show you how to measure the deflection on your vehicle. Alright, so let's say this is the midpoint as suggested in this photo. This is where they want us to measure. Of course your belt will be a lot more straighter. This is a little rubber piece, and there's no tension on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure it out. We're going to test it to see if we have enough deflection, and whether if we do or we don't, we'll adjust the bolt accordingly. If it's too tight and we can't get that 0.25 of an inch, then we'll release the bolt. If we get a lot more than the 0.25, that means we're going to have to tighten up the bolt. Alright, so right here, let's see if does it look the same on the camera? Alright, so as you can see right now, it's sitting at 4.25. So with 0.25 of deflection at 22 pounds, by the time we press down and we hit this O-ring, we should be sitting at 4 inches because we started at 4.25, and with 0.25 of deflection, what we're looking for, we should be at the 4-inch mark. So let's use this here. Let me actually use my thumb. So let's make believe real quick that the thumb is the gauge itself and we're applying pressure. So as you can see, we're going down, we're going down, we're going down, we're going down, we're going down. Boom. I'm at 22 pounds of pressure and I'm sitting at 4 inches. And that's what we're looking for when we measure the deflection. And like I mentioned before, if you go way past the 4-inch mark at 22 pounds of pressure, then you need to tighten your bolt. If it's too tight and you can't hit that 4-inch mark, then you're gonna have to loosen up the bolt. But just make sure at the end of the day that your O-ring is sitting at the 22 mark and that everything reads correctly. So guys, with this part, I just want to include it. There's a straight edge method, but for our cars, it's really not needed based on the point where we got to measure the deflection. But if you want it, here you have it. So you got the straight edge, okay, and same thing as before, you can see where it's at, and then get the 0.25 of an inch right where it's supposed to be measured using 22 pounds of force. So you could definitely use this as a guide as well. That's another option. And of course you can use the straight edge and use the measuring tool that's on top over here as well. So you could definitely go ahead and put your straight edge against the block, use the measuring tool that's available on your little tension device, and apply pressure at the same time. Honestly, with the 350Z G35, you know, it's not the best area to do this method. And of course you will have to go buy a straight edge, a smaller one, to make this happen too. So definitely you do have the straight edge method that you can use. But for me personally, but I can tell you right now, just seeing the ruler where it's at right now and measuring down, as long as you're taking that measurement exactly where the OEM specs are, you'll be good to go. So yeah guys, I just wanted to throw the straight edge method in for you, but honestly on our motors specifically, it's a lot easier to just do it this way. Just bring in a ruler, tape measure, drop it down, as I'll show you once more. And of course, if you guys not following the IG, because I did put it there as well, you can just follow right here. But yeah guys, straight edge method, it's optional, but for me personally, I just do it this way and it works out totally fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah guys, I hope that little example helps you out. That way you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And of course, like I said before, I'll go ahead and just include another video in case I do get that little gauge. That way you guys can see both ways of doing it properly. But this one is using the deflection method and applying force using a tension tester. And not for nothing, the tension tester tool, this one right here, is definitely a lot cheaper than the gauge. So yeah, go whichever route you want. Definitely up to you. If you're gonna be doing your friend's cars and you're a mechanic for them, then I will probably suggest you get the tension dial, because the gauge will make it a lot easier to do the job and you'll be in and out. But for me, I really don't do that much. I got my own projects to deal with. So yeah guys, this piece right here, definitely a lot cheaper alternative doing the deflection method. But let's go ahead and get back to the video programming and tighten everything up. Alright guys, and as the service manual says, it says right there 24 to 28 foot-pounds. So we're gonna dive down here and tie in both tensioner pulleys, 1 and 2. Me, I'm just gonna go ahead and do 28 foot-pounds. Oh boy. Whew. Well, truth be told, as you guys just saw, my 1/2 inch torque wrench did not work, so alright, so I gotta find my way out the sun because the sun is beaming on us right now. So guys, we did the pulley delete, everything is done, torque down to spec. I can't wait to drive her. I know it's really not gonna make a difference, but hey, at the end of the day, we don't ever have to worry about another pulley. Well, that pulley specifically going bad, so that's a little more simplicity for our lives. Plus, we took off 3 pounds from the motor. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win. But alright guys, that concludes today's video. I have a few more installs that I'm gonna do, and I may do it later on. But for this one, so we don't prolong the video and we keep it to one topic, just in case, you know, any of you guys want to search in the future, you know, you don't get a video that has this and that and this and that. You know, we keep the videos to one thing and we take it from there. Right now, we just finished the belts. Next up, we're gonna do the transmission mount. Finally got in a polyurethane one. Yes, I know I said I was gonna fill the OEM one that I have, but opportunity came around where this one was only $52. So I was like, hey, let me just get it. Because at the end of the day, the polyurethane that I was gonna get, it probably cost around 42 with tax or so, 43 maybe. So at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? $10 more, I get it made, it's billet, it looks more beautiful. And yeah, I'll just install it. I don't have to worry about it curing, and I'll take it from there. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you found some information that'll help you out. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, definitely give it a big thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing because we have a lot more content coming. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting the channel. And of course, you already know we have playlists here, from motorworks to suspension to brakes, you name it, we have it. So definitely check those out, especially if you have a Z or a G35. And guys, like always, think for the future, enjoy your present, and don't focus too much on the past. Peace.